Tonight I thought we'd focus on two sutras. In the opening chapter, the first pada, and in the very second sutra, Patanjali says, Chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is the stilling of the fluctuations in the consciousness. And then 2 sutras on, Sutra 1.4, he says, at other times we identify with the fluctuating consciousness. And what's important here is that we're not just talking about mind. The word vritti is a very specific term. In the second sutra, Chitta vritti nirodha. The term vritti, movements or modifications, and they are named as 5. Pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, and smriti. Direct perception or valid knowledge, illusion, delusion, memory, and sleep. The consciousness has 5 movements or modifications. And I sometimes think of them or refer to them as sources of knowing. What I know may be based on direct perception, maybe based on illusion. I think I understand something. Delusion. My mind tells me something that is not correct, and yet, to me, it seems real. Knowledge can be based on memory and on sleep. What's been said is that the consciousness can operate in these 5, they're not moods, I would say they're 5 modes. Sometimes clearly perceived, sometimes illusion, sometimes, and so on. Part of a practice involves starting to observe the vrittis, to observe their expression. Have I ever had an experience where I experience illusion? I think something's happening, but then as I investigate more closely, I find what I thought changes as I experience the thing. It's said that illusion is dispelled by close inquiry. Inside a practice of asana, it may be the stretch of your legs. And it's one of the examples that I use, because shortly when we start in asana, I'll ask you to extend your legs. And you'll have an experience of stretching them. You'll have an experience, you'll say they're straight. And then Iyengar used to turn up and he'd put his finger on the center of your patella and he'd push. And he and you would watch your knee move. It was illusory. Delusion is also one of the vrittis. The mind, it said that delusion is difficult because the mind continues to hold its position. Whereas illusion clarifies with inquiry. Delusion is much more challenging. We can also do things based on memory. We can do headstand, the same one again and again. We build up physically, but all we do is recreate the past. That opening, it's second sutra, but opening statement, Chitta vritti nirodha, the cessation of the fluctuations in the consciousness. But not just fluctuations, busy mind. These movements. And Sutra 1.4 is of significance to us. in essence, he says, most of the time, we identify with our busy minds. Mostly, we get caught up in our thoughts, our fears, our desires.